So I guess there's the camera. All right. So welcome back. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. You guys, I want to talk about feelings. The big fat F word. I know. This week has just been overwhelming for me. I have been through so much. I don't know if you follow me on TikTok. I posted a video about some hurtful stuff I've been going through this week. I had a really rough week with it. And as a mental health provider, I feel like there's this expectation. We are supposed to be the experts at feelings. In the spirit of getting more personal and sharing things, I wanted to talk about feelings because people love their good feelings, their warm, fuzzy feelings, their happy, excited feelings. There are days where that is just not the case. Everybody has the negative or bad feelings too. That's part of the human experience. When I work with people in counseling, I don't let people set that goal, never be unhappy, to never be sad, scared, afraid, upset about their life or things, because it's just not realistic. And it's okay not to be okay. This weekend was kind of that for me. It was really a not okay weekend. I really knew I needed to do some self-care. When I was working Friday, I found it a little bit difficult to stay present in sessions with people. And so that to me is a big cue. If I find that my mind is not focused on my client in my session, that's not okay. I don't get paid to sit there and think about other things. I'm there to help people and taking care of what's going on inside of me. So that way that I can be present and be helpful to my clients, because that's what they need and that's what they deserve. I sit here and I teach this stuff for a career, my living, my livelihood. I talk about feelings all the time. I help people process their feelings. And I was having such a hard time letting myself just be upset, letting myself be sad, taking care of myself. I was supposed to go bowling with my sister and my friend, and I had this really bad headache, and I think it was from stress, emotional stress. I was thinking about this bad thing that happened. It was upsetting me and I couldn't focus. And so then I spent all day trying to not think about it and not think about my feelings and not let myself feel my feelings, because I was doing stuff. And then when I had the opportunity to go and hang out with people and have fun, I just didn't feel like it. And I think that is self-care, knowing your limits, knowing what you need to do for yourself. So I ended up canceling my plans pretty last minute. Luckily, my sister and my friend are pretty cool and they were not upset at all. I was talking to my husband about it and we just stayed home, sat in bed, and we watched scary movies, ate junk food, went to bed early, and it was really great. It's really what I needed. I woke up the next day, slept really good, but then I noticed I wasn't okay, right? I still wasn't done. And then the thoughts came back, negative thoughts, the negative feelings with them, because it's all a cycle. And I don't know if I've done a video on that yet, but I probably should. I just couldn't get it off my mind. I kept thinking about it. Every time I had a moment to pause, a moment of silence or time to myself, I just kept ruminating on this negative thing, and I just couldn't get past it, just trying to distract myself. We chopped up wood. I was working on my Say More About That videos. I caught up on some notes that I needed to do for work, play with my kids, and watch TV. I spent so much time on TikTok numbing myself from my feelings because I didn't want to feel them. They don't feel good. It doesn't feel good to not feel good. So I was doing everything I could not to, and I didn't even really realize it. I think I started to realize it. I noticed that I was doing it, but I didn't make myself stop doing it. So I spent most of Saturday doing that, And I thought to myself, what would I say to myself if I was my own client? If my client came to me and told me about them going through the stuff that I was going through, how would I tell them to handle it? So I tried hot bath. I did the smelly water, the salts in the water, things that just made me feel good physically. I made sure I ate. I drank a bunch of water. Then I was thinking, it didn't really, it doesn't make it go away. You can self-care yourself with pampering and whatever, and that doesn't make your feelings go away. It kind of makes you feel a little better, but it doesn't stop the hurt. That's because feelings are valid, feelings are real. You need to feel them all. It kind of dawned on me, and I talk about this all the time, so I don't know why it took me so long, but just feel it, just let yourself feel it. Let yourself be hurt and sad and upset and disappointed. Just let yourself just be. I cried a little bit, just sat and just was not okay. And I think today is like day 3. I did some creative stuff. Like I said, I made a TikTok videos that kind of how I talked to my husband, and then I did some self-care stuff. And so you get all these layers, right? So the distract yourself sometimes, do things that make you happy, do stuff that makes you feel good, talk to somebody, do something creative. I did all of those things. And even today, it's kind of like, I'm not great, but I'm better. Got up and I got dressed today. Look good, feel good kind of thing. We don't just have happy feelings. I think having the negative feelings or the feelings on that kind of end of the spectrum really help you to appreciate more the times that you have when you are feeling great and good and loved and happy. You can control your feelings. I know that it seems like they're out of your control, and sometimes it's really hard to control them, but really feelings, they don't last forever. And so when you're feeling really bad, hanging on to the fact that they don't last forever, doing what you can to help shift them to a better feeling. And sometimes the way to do that is to just let yourself feel the negative feelings. Just feel them, get through them, know that it's not going to last forever. Sometimes your thinking gets in the way of that. Noticing, are you being negative? Are you ruminating on these negative thoughts that are associated with it? Whether it's thoughts of people don't like me, people don't love me, I'm not good enough, they don't want me around, I'm not worthy. We get these internal core beliefs that we hold that are often very negative about ourselves. And it really comes out sometimes when we get treated badly by somebody else. It really triggers us to treat ourselves badly too. One of the hashtags I use a lot is be kind to yourself. This is kind of the reason why, because even when other people treat us badly, we can still be nice to ourselves. We can be kind to ourselves. We can lift ourselves up. We can lift others up too. And when you're feeling negatively and you get sucked into that trap, talking negatively about yourself, ruminating and repetitive thoughts about not being good enough, people don't like me, or everyone but me, or I'm unlovable. And when we talk to ourselves like that, it pushes us farther and farther away from where we want to be. I also think it can be really hard to pull yourself out of that or to stop thinking that. First of all, noticing that you're doing it. Somebody else's words or actions are just hurtful. You internalize it as I'm not a good person, or I'm not a good enough person. It just pushes you farther and farther and farther. Reminding yourself you are not less than based off of somebody else's inability to see the good in you. People can be mad at you. People can even have a valid reason. Maybe you did something that was rude, or you hurt somebody else unintentionally, and in their pain, they're hurting you back. That doesn't make you unworthy or a bad person. People make mistakes. If you're willing to acknowledge the pain that you put out in the world and forgive yourself for the mistakes that you make and forgive others for their mistakes too. It's really hard, but there's that piece of forgiveness where I'm not going to be mad at you because being mad hurts me, right? And I want peace. I want love. I want calm. I want to be okay. And part of being okay is not holding on to anger and resentment and hurt from the actions and words of others. And it's not about, it being okay that they did or said whatever they did or said, but it's I'm willing to give myself the peace and not hold on to it. It doesn't mean I have to engage anymore. I think that's really hurtful too, is when relationships end that you never thought would end, which is kind of what I'm going through right now. Healthy boundaries, you have to have healthy boundaries, and it's okay to forgive someone and to not be able to have a relationship with them anymore. If someone continually hurts you or talks down to you and they're going through their own stuff, you don't have to fix them. You got to know where your boundary is. And sometimes it hurts to set those boundaries. Being able to say, I love you, but you're not good for me. You hurt me over and over, and I'm going to respect myself enough to not keep engaging with you. And I wish the best for you, and I hope the best for you, and I hope you find whatever it is that's going to bring you happiness and peace. I heard one time, mental health providers or people in helping professions, you get to a place where you can't really be mad at people. Learn so much about human nature and the situations people go through, and you have so much, I guess, empathy, like you can relate to people so much that you feel like you can understand why they're feeling the way that they're feeling. You can see how they've gotten to the conclusion that they've gotten to, whether it's right or wrong, good or bad. I mean, even without judgment, so I'm sitting here hurt by this family member, and at the same time, I'm not even mad, I'm just like hurt. Like, I'm not mad. I totally understand why they did what they did and said what they said. I get it. I can see how they got to that conclusion and why they're feeling that way. But that doesn't mean that it's okay to treat me but to do what they did and to treat me the way that they did was not okay. It's hurtful, and they know it was hurtful, and they did it on purpose. And so, that's just where you have to be like, okay, well, I still love you. Like, you're my family. I love you. I want good things for you, but I guess it just is where it's at now. We can't be what I thought we were anymore, and obviously we're not what I thought we were. So that may be something that, I talk with a lot of people about, the idea that you can love someone and not have them in your life. You can want good things for someone and still say that you can't come around. I saw something one time that said, just because you lost me as a friend doesn't mean you gained me as an enemy. And I think that really resonates, at least for me today in my situation. I still want to see you eat, just not at my table. I think that was Jim Carrey who said that. Anyway, I am feeling a lot better today, and I really want to thank everyone on my different social media platforms who really came with the kindness and the support and kind of helped uplift me. It was really nice. I've never really shared stuff on social media, so I've never had that experience before, and it was just kind of awe-inspiring. I mean, it was only a few people, but that's okay. I'm just gonna keep being me and doing what I'm doing and spread some love and kindness and continue to be kind to myself. And I hope you continue to be kind to yourself too, because the world is a better place with you in it.